realize what kind of world you've been shaping? Does the ICA? Does your handler?
Hitman released on Friday, March 11th. You've had a few days to play it now, Naj, right?
Yeah, a few
the
days
weekend
to play it,
and
the weekend,
a few days.
spring break.
So far, what do you think of the game?
Well, in comparison to Absolution, I think we both can agree that, well, did you like the story of Absolution?
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I mean,
people had problems with the story for Absolution. I honestly didn't care. I thought it was good enough. I know it kind of...
It was really cheesy.
It's very contradictory to like the old like Hitman lore and whatnot. But
not even that. It's just like you know,
yeah,
hardcore Hitman fans, hold Blood Money as the magnum opus to the entire series, just because you're given this open world and basically just given instructions, and you can do whatever you want. You can attack your target in any way, shape, or form, and that's what I like about the new Hitman. It basically takes you back to that, gives you a beautiful open world. I mean, the first world is Paris. They give you that Paris map to play on first with a few introductory missions and literally dozens of ways to go about killing your target. And I think that's what the series needed to go back to.
See, I know that we like to talk about games that are like large, open, expansive games.
Yep.
But I mean, like linear games, I still have a place in my heart. Like I said, Metal Gear Solid 5 would be good as a linear game. Hitman Absolution was,
I mean,
it was linear in the sense where it basically gave you a stage and it was like, get to the end of this.
Yeah.
We don't care how you do it, get to the end of it.
Yeah, and Hitman games, I mean, they're not open world. I mean,
Right.
Blood Money, none of the Hitmans were ever open world, but they gave you a map where it was open, where, you can explore, find ways to, here's poison over here. Oh, C4 over here. There's
or you can just go
over
guns
here.
blazing, just kill everything.
Yeah, you can. If you want to play a game like that, then
Hitman Absolution felt like a puzzle game to me, kind of, because it was just like here's your setup. Mm-hmm. Find a creative way to get to the end. You could just brute force through it. You could just kill everything. That's up to you. But at
times it did feel like a puzzle.
It's very rewarding to find like, oh, here's poison. Oh, here's like how can I get this to or someone walks under like I think it was like a crate that was up on a crane, and then you could just shoot it and it just falls right on them.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's so many different options you could do. Does the new one offer that kind of choice?
Well, the new one has tons of choices. I think
more than Absolution,
and extremely more than Absolution. Even down to not to the ones they had scripted in your challenges. You can go about it any way you want to, but in the first Paris map, you're given two targets, and I think there's 12 unique ways to kill them, or you can just walk into a room and just shoot them right in the face if you want to. Right. But in terms of just the only thing that bothers me about the new Hitman is the fact that I'll bring an example of Metal Gear Solid 5. In missions in Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, there were situations where how you have the little challenges, the mission tasks you have to do. Right. There are times where those are very time sensitive, and if you don't do them in a certain time, either a certain person dies or it just is not available anymore. What I don't like in Hitman Agent 47 is that a lot of these opportunities are proximity based, so you have to go to a certain place to trigger that, which kind of for replayability, especially since there's only one map available at the time, Paris, it can get kind of stale really quickly, because you have to go to certain places to trigger certain stuff to open more opportunities up. That's one thing that really bothers me about it. But other than that, just the sheer amount of opportunities they give you to go about killing your target, obtaining new disguises and stuff like that, it's massive.
Now, level design. Absolution was great to me because just every map was a different creative sort of level. There were so many different just diverse maps in that game, and they all kind of fit like a pretty concise theme. You had the greenhouse, the Terminus Hotel, Chinatown.
Terminus Hotel, man.
Terminus Hotel was hard.
It's hard as fuck.
You had King of Chinatown. You had the what was it? The Lumberyard. the strip club. Like there were just so many.
The
different
strip club
things.
was awesome.
There were so many different
Awesome.
things that you could
Not
do.
to mention it's beautiful too.
So I mean, like, does the new Hitman match that kind of like level design, like variety, or does it?
Well,
I mean, obviously you've only seen Paris so far.
Yeah, I mean everyone's only seen Paris so far.
I mean that's the.
But I will say
difference.
that like the Paris map is just down to the level of detail in this map. This game is just it's unrivaled by anything right now. Like just even down to like the sidebar conversations you hear from NPCs.
Right.
Like, it's all on point. And in terms of level design, it's there. I mean, just down to all the opportunities they give you to kill people. Like it's set up in a way where I wouldn't say it's scripted, but I mean, when you go to a certain place in the map, you immediately know, like, oh, this is tied to this challenge, and this is tied to this challenge, and it's great.
Now, episodic story content. This is something that people really kind of were disgusted at whenever it was first announced. Like, they're just trying to...
I was one of them.
Yeah, everyone's like, they're just trying to nickel and dime us, get more money out of us. But, you can buy the full game right now if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Or you could just buy, $15 for Paris, see if you like it. If you don't like it,
Yeah,
then you don't have to buy the rest of it, and you got to play, the first part of it.
Sure.
So, I mean, do you think that it lends its hand pretty well, or do you think that it's kind of like a hindrance? Would you rather just have the full game now?
Well, of course, I'd rather have the full game now. I mean,
and apparently they said that they're going to do some sort of like events or whatever.
To
keep it fresh.
And that's the thing. I mean, cause you know how Absolution had the contracts mode, right?
Right.
Which I dabbed into a little bit on Absolution when I had it on 360, but it wasn't. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah.
And that's what they have right now on here. I mean, in addition to having the dozens of opportunities to kill somebody, to do it and to play the game in different ways. I mean, you have those contracts that friends and just the community can upload. Just pick any target on that map and find a way to kill that target. I haven't seen any of the live events they've been talking about. They haven't released any of those yet, and I'm just waiting to see what they do with those. But I mean, it'll probably be more of the same. But the only dynamic thing with that is that they'll give you a certain target and a condition and time to do it, and if you don't do that, then it's gone forever. So I mean, there's a little dynamic.
See, for me, it's like it's not story content. It's not really multiplayer content, and it's not like I don't think that'd be like good for me because I don't like those kind of things. It's like it's kind of like the people that think that like collectibles are like story content, or that finding all the collectibles makes the game 4 hours longer. So this game, I just think that like people
Ground
say things
zeros.
Like that. Because basically once the story's done and the side missions are done, that's it for a game for me. I don't go back and do collectibles. I don't need to have that 100% because there's just so many games to play. So,
I mean, it depends on the game. I mean, sometimes I like doing that. It depends on what game it is. Like,
so I mean, what exactly sets this game apart? What makes me want to play this game instead of the hundreds of other games that are in my Steam library right now?
Well, I mean, if you like Hitman, I think regardless, this game is for you. I mean, there's just the game is good. Now, while I wish we had the full game in our hands,
right.
It's still a great game that sticks to the core mechanics of the Hitman series. And while I can't say that if you don't have the $15 right now to buy the map, I wouldn't recommend it right now. Maybe you can wait until the full game is released and maybe get it on a Steam sale.
What does it do better than Absolution? Like what improvements has it made over the last?
Just getting rid of that cheesy story, honestly, because I have no problem with the way Hitman played. You know what? I do have a way with the problem that Hitman Absolution had. Remember the how you had to use the instinct bar on Absolution, and how everyone on that game could see through your disguise. Like if you were a gardener, then every gardener can see through your disguise. So like, and the biggest improvement to me in Agent 47 is the fact that if you disguise as a security guard, not every security guard can see you through your disguise. There'll be maybe 3 or maybe 2 people on that map that maybe like head security, or like someone that's just like
it's like supervisors who should
supervisors that and they'll be highlighted with a small white dot, and if you walk past them they'll be suspicious of you, but not everyone on that map.
You still have to use your like instinct bar. Is that still a thing?
The instinct is just for now
seeing
it's
key
just seeing key points, your target, and just
but there's no
key
like
objects.
bar to actually
No.
sneak past. All right. Yeah, I always thought that was kind of an odd mechanic because like it was.
It was holding your hand.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was kind of weird because it was just like instead of having to sneak by, it was like, oh, if you have enough instinct bar, you just
put your head down
put your
and
head down,
you
just
know,
forge right through, you know. And,
who is this guy right here?
I mean, so I mean, from the last one, the story didn't really bother me that much. The gameplay was pretty good, you know, the just like shooting and. The one thing that was got me was throwing a knife at someone was like a laser, like just like throwing a knife at someone's head.
It's
And
the same thing.
It was so satisfying.
It's the
Like,
same thing now.
I ran through so many of those maps just using nothing but like a chef's knife.
Yeah.
Just because it was so satisfying using the knife.
Yeah, now it still locks on and you could just toss it across the room if you want to. It's dope.
And actually, other maps I'm remembering: the library,
Yes.
the like hippie den,
Mm-hmm.
which is all
I
right.
play Absolution
The most
again.
fantastic transition. You are in that library, and there's like a whole bunch of cops. So naturally, you're gonna kill a cop, take their disguise.
Yep.
And then the helicopter chases you into that little like
Oh, I forgot about the helicopter.
hippie den pot farm thing. The first thing you see when you walk in is a poster that says "fuck the cops." So even if you get in, all the people are gonna be looking at you like, "Oh my god!" Like, "Holy shit, the cops are here!" And you had to hide through like the little like pot farm like garden thing. That was like that game was just
Absolution was a great game.
It did
but
so many
like,
things
It's just like
perfectly.
you know I can do without the plot line. That's all. But I mean, Agent 47. Like I said, I wish we had the full game at our disposal so I can just pour time into it. I mean, I am now just trying to complete challenges. Just trying to get comfortable with the game. So when they release new content, that I can just go into it and plan my assault and just go whatever. I mean, some more new additions. I like the fact that you can once you play through the game, you can start off at different mission points. You can actually plan what gear you're going to go into the mission with. So I like those a lot. But I mean, I just wish the full game was available. But I would recommend this to anyone that wants more Hitman. Honestly.
So under what circumstance would you buy this game? Like, who should buy this game and who shouldn't buy this game?
Well,
obviously people who don't like Hitman probably wouldn't buy the game. Obviously people who do like Hitman, but I mean like fans of what should buy this game basically? Like any other games that it compares to or that it, no, obviously like stealth game fans.
Honestly, if you are a fan of planning out your mission, of just stealth, I mean, there's not many stealth sandbox out there. I mean, we have MGS5 and now games of the Hitman series.
Right.
I mean, honestly, if you're into open world sandboxes and you're into shooting people, I mean, I mean, at a $15 price point, I mean,
yeah.
it's kind of a no brainer. But I mean, for Hitman fans, it's definitely a must buy. Like, yeah. I mean, you
is
have
this
to
the
buy
game
it.
to bring new fans into the series? Do you think?
I think so, just because it's an origin story. Basically, and
right.
you get to find out through the training exercises who Agent 47 is and where he comes from, and the training missions do a great job of just holding your hand and bringing you into the game while like introducing to you these new mechanics and mechanics of old. So $15 is kind of hard to ignore. Seriously.
Well, there you have it.
Keith, buy it. Just buy it, bro.
Hitman is out for. Is it out for Xbox One, PS4, and PC?
Yes, it is.
Anything else?
I think that's. I don't think it's on 360 or PS3. I have to double check that, so I won't go ahead and say that. I mean, I haven't touched those consoles in a while.
It is at least out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, so go check it out.